let's go to a different franchise. Let's go to different superhero sector. Let's talk about the DCU, and let's talk about Aaron Pierre. He has been cast as John Stewart for the upcoming Lantern series that has been compared, like in terms of tone, to True Detective. James Gunn confirmed this news, tweeted out the news himself. He's going to star alongside Kyle Chandler, who just officially signed on as Hal Jordan. Ricky Flex, your reaction to Aaron Pierre's casting?
We did it. Do you want to issue an apology?
And I don't know if we want to play this game anymore, Ricky Flex. I can't suffer any more embarrassment for myself in this podcast for us to talk about name after name, and they're not even close to signing on for John Stewart. That will kill me. So I think we have to wait until it's officially announced that we have
Aaron
John
Pierre.
Stewart. Don't do that. Don't do that, because then I'll be like Damson Idris. It's like there's I don't know. I don't even want to ask you who the favorite is or who you want to see, because I don't want us to look dumb anymore.
Hey, I don't care. I think the leader in the clubhouse is Aaron Pierre after Rebel Ridge, and him basically saying he's open to this. Like, Aaron Pierre.
Do I want to issue an apology? No, I don't want to issue an apology.
You're the man. No fan casting on this news. You're like, when it was Stephen James and Aaron Pierre, you're like, no, we can't be doing this. And I'm like, no, we are doing this.
Because I do think like he can do a good job, but like he's great in Rebel Ridge. Does that I don't like I would like him as John Stewart then, but like is that going to match up well? Like who we saw in Rebel Ridge, is that going to match up well with Kyle Chandler? I hope so, right? But I think we need
He's
a
working
little
with Barry Jenkins.
I don't know too much about Aaron Pierre. Like Barry Jenkins, I get it. He's talented. I get it. But I don't really know him. So like I guess I'm sorry for not believing that he would be casted, even though, like, when we talked about it, he was a finalist. I just think there is a little peer pressure, and there was some added fan element that elevated him over, right? Who else was going to be cast here?
No, I love the casting. I've talked about it before. Kyle Chandler officially signs on here. I have my reservations about that, but this combo, it's going to be like a show me story, because obviously, like, Kyle Chandler, great TV actor. We know what we're gonna get with him, right? He's gonna be a coach, like detective, cop. We know what we're gonna get. Aaron Pierre is gonna be the one where it's like, is it gonna be more like Rebel Ridge, or like what's he gonna do here? I just like his demeanor in Rebel Ridge. I like that for a John Stewart. Obviously, he has great presence, a great voice. He's gonna be Mufasa. I think it's all clicking to be a great John Stewart, and I love the concept of the show. The show, I think the concept is really going to carry the show more so than the actors, and really like get us involved. So I think DC, it's a nice little ignition under it with this casting, and also this concept, True Detective, like you said. And I think overall for the show going forward, it's like, all right, how much deeper are we getting into the supernatural, like comic book world, versus are we going like True Detective, like serial killer / like, I don't know, like, because it's John Stewart, the Green Lanterns, like we're out in space. It's gonna be supernatural, but like how crazy are we gonna get?
I think it's gonna be on Earth.
So I like that.
It's or maybe not. I thought I read that it's gonna be influenced tone-wise by True Detective, and there's going to be a crime that's committed that will impact the entire DCU. That's basically what I read. And I wonder how much is going to ground it, how much like comic book it will feel compared to True Detective. How do you balance the two? That's tough.
And it's going to be tough. And it's a TV show, so it's on a small screen. It's not going to look as nice if you like go out into space, or you do the ring, and like the ring is like, I don't know, like you make like a hammer. It's just not going to look as good. It's going to be difficult.
I have confidence it will work, despite having no other thing to kind of back it on.
But Zack Snyder's Justice League Green Lanterns, that was pretty cool.
That looked pretty cool, and it was probably done in Zack Snyder's backyard, to be honest. And so that was nice. I think we'll see how it looks, right? That's obviously a question mark here. But to stay on Aaron Pierre, this was the bigger casting than Hal Jordan. Why? Because this character is going to be signing a deal for not only TV but films as well. Like Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan was strictly going to be in the show, which kind of hints that already we probably might see him bite the dust in this show. Okay. I think Aaron Pierre, That's going to be something where he's going to be popping in and out, right? Continuity seems to be important for James Gunn, or at least synchronicity between like TV and movies and TV and comic and and video games and things like that. He wants to have consistency with the animated stuff, having the animated people voice the roles, and then when they're in live action, it's the same actor. That type of stuff seems important. So Aaron Pierre is the bigger deal because he is going to be the one we're seeing consistently throughout the coming years for the DCU. So fingers crossed he brings the juice. This to me was the more important casting. It seemed like they took more time in order to execute it, or in order to do it. So I'm in on it. We'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited. I won't say I'm more or less excited for this series, because I've always been like very bullish on this series just because of the concept, like I mentioned. So
Damon Lindelof.
I can't wait for this series. I don't know, when's this coming out? 2026 too? I don't know.
Probably 2026. Probably, if they already have the casting down, right? Next year is huge for the DCU.
Probably filming it next year, 2026 release.
The DC.